Man, it's hard to go far when you're in your own way. It's so hard when you're your own obstacle. One thing I love about God is that God's not, He pays no mind to the obstacle, because when we see obstacles, He sees opportunity. But do you? Do you see the opportunity that God's trying to show you? Do you even have the faith in yourself? I think we miss these types of conversations. I think what gets pushed to us so much by social media and by these gurus and all of these mentors and entrepreneurs trying to get you to do what they did is asking, do you even believe? Because I'm going to be honest, completely honest with you right now. If you need somebody else to believe in you to do it, that's your answer right there. Like, if you got to ask somebody, do you think that I can do this? You probably can't. But that there to say this as well, he who believes that he can and he who believes that he can't are both right. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's really what I'm getting at. It just matters if you believe. You can have a great calling and still not believe that you're the one that should be called. Moses. One of the greatest callings, to lead a whole nation to their freedom. You would think that many people would have been ecstatic for just the opportunity to be used. But you got to be careful what you ask for. You got to be careful what you pray for, because even in those times, Moses is real. Moses is human. We're merely human. So once he gets the call, he doesn't even believe that he is the one that should be doing the leadership. He doesn't believe that he is the one that should be the one. He doesn't believe that he's the one. Like, why will God choose me? So when you're in that same position, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any doubt at all. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You're human. What I'm saying though is, do you believe that because you were called, that there's a reason why you were called? All I'm really saying, it's hard to go far. It's hard to do the things that you want to do when you're in your way. Let alone all these other obstacles, let alone the world itself, let alone your life. The fact that it doesn't stop, the fact that it doesn't get any easier. The fact that even though you want to trace your dreams and you're called to do something that the bills still do, that life's still real. Nothing gets easier. Do you believe? Even though this may be another thing added on to another thing that you're already doing. Even in that, do you believe? Because if you don't believe, what are you doing? And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but what I'm really just getting at is, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's actually easier for you to either change the expectation than to keep going with something that you don't even believe in. You don't even believe it. And or you do. If you believe that it's for you, then what are you doing? Get out of your way. I say it all the time, but the minute that you get out of the way, God can make one for you. You're the one holding things up. You're the one delaying the process. Every day you're either getting closer or further. I truly believe you never stand still. You're either getting closer to it or you're getting further. Because every day you choose not to be intentional with moving forward in it. And it doesn't mean that you have to do big things every single day. Sometimes it's just speaking life into the situation. Sometimes it's just planning ahead and saying, okay, I'll have this, and I'll just creating markers and milestones for yourself, timelines just to get there. Because I honestly do believe that failing to plan is planning to fail. So create some type of plan, create some type of system that's going to get you to where you want to go. Give yourself a sense of direction so that you know how to get to where you're going. But in the end of the day, it's hard to go far when you're in your way. And I just want to be real with you. Like, I don't think a lot of people are. I don't think we have enough real conversations where it's not somebody just trying to hype you up. It's not somebody trying to sell you something. It's not somebody. It's just, we don't have enough genuine, authentic conversations to get to the real point. Which is, if you want your life to change, you must be willing to do things differently. You cannot do the same thing and expect a different outcome. That's literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And things can't change if you don't. It always takes you. Clearly, that the fact that you're here, clearly you know that the journey is worth taking. So take it. Stop being your own blockade. Stop being your own roadblock. Stop being your own speed bump. You don't even need to slow down. You just, because you haven't even got started for real yet. Like, yeah, you may have done this, and yeah, you talked about it, you told a couple of people, you may have written it down, you may have even made a whole little board about it. Who cares if you're not applying any action? Execution is what matters. The idea is free. The idea is free, and you're not the only one who's had it. But it's he who is willing. He who is willing. That is the one who is willing to sow the seed is the one who gets to harvest. And he who sows sparingly reaps sparingly, but he who sows bountifully reaps bountifully. If you want a larger harvest, you gotta sow more seed. But even when you, and I'm not even at this, we're gonna get to this video later, but even when you sow the seed, don't forget to water. I think many of us are like, the hardest part is getting started, so I got started. And I'm like, okay, cool. I did it. I worked out. Okay, cool. Listen, working out really isn't even the full thing. It's not the objective. You have to change your life. It's a lifestyle. Creating the business don't mean you have business. It's just the beginning. It literally is the requirement for the change. You want a change to happen. Putting the input is the requirement. But it's a consistent effort that accumulates to long-lasting results. I know you have it in you. So the question is, what are you doing? Why are you participating in the undoing of self? Because you're phenomenal by nature. Your existence here, the fact that he created you in their image, everything was intentional in making you, meaning you can do it. It's all I'm giving you, all I'm trying to help you understand and grasp is that you can do it. But why aren't you? What is holding you back? And the reason why I'm saying these things is because I want you to be intentional, right? If it's being intentional with me and commenting what is holding you back and we can talk through it, or write it down for yourself. We showing up every single day talking about how we supposed to get there and how we get in there. And I'm even updating y'all on my own life how I'm getting there. But are you? The last thing I would want to do is get to the top and you aren't there with me. I'm telling you, I promise you, I want this to be so intentional. This isn't about me. I don't show up every single day here for me. I know all of this, or I'm applying this to my life. And as I'm living it, I recognize where I'm falling short and where I'm succeeding. I don't have to make a video to document it. My thing is, I don't want to make it by myself. I want you there with me. So when I come here and I say, what are you doing? It's from a place of love. Because I'm going far. But it's harder for you to go far if you keep getting in your own way. So I say this with all the most love and kindness. Please excuse yourself out of the way so God can make one for you. So God can make one for you. Commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. A man's heart plans his own way, but the Lord directs his steps. These are verses. First one was Proverbs 16:3. The other one was Proverbs 16:9. These are verses that need to be meditated upon. These are verses that you need to hold on to tightly. To remind yourself that if I just commit my works to the Lord, my thoughts will be established. That my heart plans my way, but the Lord directs my steps. So yes, like I said, plan a course. Give yourself a course. Give yourself a direction to head. Then get out of the way. Because God's going to lead you the rest of the way. God's going to guide you to make sure that you stay on the narrow path and avoid the broad. Because that's the type of God we serve. He is a shepherd and we are his sheep. But one thing I'm telling you right now is that God is calling you to get up. Get on up. There is nothing else for you where you are. You actually have overstayed your welcome, which is why you're uncomfortable there. Isn't it so interesting how we can be in our own comfort zone doing the same thing over and over again, and now somehow it's somehow uncomfortable. So you might as well get up and go to the new places where only God can take you. Because he's waiting patiently on you, not the other way around. But one thing about God is that he's not in a rush. He's not in a rush. He wants you to get everything out of this world that's meant for you. Oh, I promise you he does. But even if you don't, he still loves you. But me, on the other hand, I don't want to see you stay in the same place that you've been. I don't want this year to look like last year for you. Even if last year was the best year of your life, this year needs to be better. Because it can. Because good can always become better. Good can always become great. As long as that heart is beating of yours, you got more to go. And I'm not saying this as if you're not already capable, nor am I saying this as if there's some future self that you need to achieve. But rather, because I know the fact that you're here, the fact that you're with me right now, I know that there's more out there for you simply because you want it. I know that there is a race out there for you simply because you want to run. And I know that you know the journey is worth taking. So take it. It's meant for you. And I know you're here with me, so I appreciate you just hearing me out. I know this is different. I know many people don't get on here and talk to you this way, but I want you to understand that I don't want anything from you, but only for you to get everything out of your own life. I don't want anything else from you, but for you to get everything out of your life that's meant for you, that God has for you. There's no need to play small anymore. There's no need to be idle anymore. There's no need to doubt anymore. It's hard to go far when you're in your own way. And hey, maybe this just sits with you today, and maybe it's just a good word for you today. But if this is really meant for you, then I know that you're going to apply it, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Peace.